What's up everyone? So I was asked this question multiple times when I was interviewing for a Java developer position. So this is a very common interview question if the interviewer is asking you something around functional interfaces, default keyword, or multiple inheritance in Java 8. So if you're very new to Java 8, I have a Java 8 crash course which you can check out. So this is part 3 of the Java interview series and particularly Java 8. So you can check out the previous 2 videos and let me know if you found that useful. So let's discuss this problem. So what would happen if you implement two different interfaces but which has the same default method into a class? Now let's say you have two interfaces, interface A and interface B, and if you want to implement both the interfaces into your class, YOLO class, you would do something like that. But since both of these interfaces have some abstract methods, then you need to override those methods and write your own implementation in your own class. So this is kind of very basic, but the interviewer would ask you then, let's say instead of these abstract methods, what if you have default methods with exact same name and exact same signature? So now I've added two default methods with exact same signatures and exact same name. Only the content or the body is different in both the interfaces. Now if you're very new to default keyword, you can check out my Java 8 crash course. I have discussed default keyword in detail in that video. So let's see what happens if we implement only one interface. Now the compiler will tell you that you need to override your hello method, which is an abstract method. So the compiler doesn't complain about YOLO method since you have a keyword default in front of that YOLO method. So we do not need to implement this. Of course, we can override this also. But an important question here arises, what would happen if you implement both the interfaces? So I've added some implementation of hello method, which is an abstract method from interface A. So let's see how we can run that. So now if I run this, it will call this hello implementation that we have written for this. And now if we call the YOLO method, which is the default method, and this will call the default implementation of this. So it knows that it is part of interface A, so it needs to call this method. So the same would work if this is a reference type of YOLO class. But here the question arises, what would happen to the same program if I implement both the interfaces? So let me know in the comment below what you think would happen. So for hello, it's obvious that it won't change since both the method are abstract method and we have already provided an implementation for that abstract method. But for these default methods, since they are the same with same method signature, so for YOLO method, which is our default method, the compiler doesn't know which method to pick up from interface A or interface B. So then it will raise a compile time error. So this is basically the answer to that. So let me quickly implement interface B as well. So now the compiler gives an error, and that is since we have duplicate methods of type YOLO with the same parameters, therefore it's not allowed. So the interviewer's next question would be, what's the solution to this? So it's an easy workaround that you can override or implement your own method of YOLO. And why is that? It's because here the compiler will never know which method do I need to call since we are implementing both the interfaces. So it doesn't know whether I have to call YOLO method from interface A or interface B. So let's write a quick solution for that. So I've overridden the YOLO method as well. So now you can write anything inside that. So I've quickly given the body of YOLO method. So now the compiler is happy and it doesn't complain since it now knows exactly which method to call. Now let's say you want to call your default implementation as well. So you can do that easily. So first you will need to write down the name of your interface. Let's say interface A, and then super, and then the default method that you want to call, let's say. And you can do that for both the interfaces. So here first it will call the default method of interface A, then you have some statements, and finally it will call YOLO method of interface B. So let's see how it runs. So from interface A, then your own actual code, and then from interface B. So that's it for this video. Let me know if you ever face this kind of interview question in your interviews. Also comment your most complicated or favorite interview question that you have ever faced from Java 8. If you're very new to Java 8, you can check out my Java 8 crash course and the other two Java interview question from this series. Thanks for watching the video. Bye bye.